Welcome back, everybody. This is Jasmine for the Embassy of Peace. And some time ago, I received such a long list of questions from a wonderful soul called Jenny, which many of our social media friends have added to as well, and asked if we could begin this new year sharing a bit more in-depthly on what happens when we die. We're now up to Jenny's question number 6. Please watch the previous videos. She says, can we go back and repeat our life we just had with a bit more consciousness and change what we did to rectify our mistakes, as I'd be interested in doing that. You know, it's interesting, our last question was on life review. Do we have it when we cross over? The answer is many people do, but why wait? Why not reset it now? Why not reset everything now? The past is done. This is a brand new moment. Own it. Have a look at how you've conducted your life to this now moment. Yes, you did the best you could, as we shared last video, according to the consciousness you had at the time. But here you are today. Older, wiser, hopefully you've gained more virtues. Because all our experiences, all our challenges, they set us up to gain wisdom and virtues. So can you reset it all now? Just decide that from this moment on, you are going to live your life differently. But let's say you don't do that and you have crossed over to the other side. I know from the research I've done and the memory, because I remember life between lives, you know, I remember when you move out of beta brainwave frequency pattern where your view is restricted, it's more connected to personality, egoic nature, you go more into the alpha brainwave patterns, then into the theta brainwave patterns. That's where more of who you really are and have been and are in linear and sequential time and simultaneous time can be revealed. So all lives, past, present, future, between lives, are operating in this now moment of awareness when you get into the right brainwave pattern. So let's say you as a descending soul, you load up your body of light, and we've talked about light body load ups in some of our online courses, especially Source Feeding course. I know that before you descend again, you'll choose your family, you'll choose your culture, you'll choose your gender, you'll choose all of it so that you can continue on in your field of play as formlessness, choosing repetitive form in linear time on Earth, because that's the dominant frequency on Earth. So if, let's say you're going to set up something like, all right, well, I look at my last linear form and I didn't really do well on patience. I didn't really do well on humility. I didn't really do that well on compassion when I look at how I played the game called my last life. So I want to continue to work on this. This is your individual choice as formlessness and consciousness who is choosing to send one little ray of the vastness of who you are repetitively into form through linear time on Earth or another star system. So of course you're going to do a do-over to a degree. You might do your life review before you drop body or even after. You know, if you do it before, there's a lot that can change a lot how you're going to live this next period in linear time on Earth, because you've really been honest with you, what you've done, the situations you've created, what you've learned from your patterns of energy, and what you will stop creating, because obviously it didn't work for you or it didn't work for others. There was damage done along the way. So as we said last video, do it now, do your life review now. But let's say that you're out of form, you've done life review whenever. When you do come to set up your circumstances again, of course you may continue on going, I need to learn more patience. I remember my father at the end of his life in his 80s, he said, you know, I've learned a lot of patience in my life, being through the war, being through many difficult circumstances in Europe, through the Second World War and others. And he said, you know, I thought I'd learnt patience, and I find I'm still learning it. It's like there's levels and levels and levels. There's depths to compassion. There's depths to humility. There's depths to joy. There's depths to peace. There's depths to patience. The zone of virtues has depths and levels and levels and levels of intensity until we are a living embodiment of compassion, until we are a living embodiment of patience, until we are a living embodiment of peace, or a living embodiment of humility. I meet many people in the source feeding field, and they're trying to grab this gift that's part of our energetic construct of really being source fed, but there's still a little bit too much in the egoic nature, not quite enough deep in the experience of humility. And we have to go deeper, deeper in there. I've had many lessons in being more humble, being made more humble. And the whole learning goes on and on and on. So yes, not only can we go back and repeat our life we've just had, when we do come in, it's going to be different, because there was a lot, remember, that you've mastered. With each embodiment, you will master something, but maybe you'll exit and you'll realize, yeah, I need a little bit more of that. And so that will become of your new spectrum of learning once you descend into linear time, into form, particularly into a certain time frame on planet Earth, or a different planet as well. So 7, can we live out another, as per the last question, to see what happens if we made different decisions? So I think, can you live out another life simultaneously? But let's answer this differently. Some of the research I loved when I really went into this, because it's good to get collective experiences that everyone agrees to, especially under hypnotherapy, as Dr. Michael Newton's work and Dolores Cannon. And I know from what I've absorbed from listening to people's experiences when they've been in hypnosis in theta frequency, where they remember everything, past, present, future, between lives. And they've said that it is common for a soul, when it's setting up a life, to not just choose culture, family, country, what the general lessons were that they would learn, or the general energies they would rebalance between themselves and souls they've often been with before. But they might have, say, 3 lives lined up, 3 potential lives. And I read somewhere that, yes, you could actually spend a day in a parallel world at any juncture in any one of those lives, and extend into that parallel world and live in that life for a day or a time to see if that's the life feels right for you. And you can do that for a few lives of potential you may be selecting. I like that. Now, is this the truth? What I share with people in our work is a kinesiology test, where you do the circuit. As you make a statement, you try to break the circuit and make a statement as if it's true. Is all we've just shared with you about dipping into a potential life through a parallel life, so you can choose more wisely which life you want to take on as formlessness in your next form? Is this true? I get a yes, the circuit doesn't break. So there's ways of checking with kinesiology, with your breath, as we teach in our online courses, for you to always know the truth for you. Now remember, even what we're sharing here will only find its way into the the handful of people who are ready for this information to be presented this way. There may be many who won't find these videos. There may be some who listen to these videos and our little treatise on what happens when we die who goes, that's not my belief spectrum at all. And so they'll just tune out and not go deeper through all these question times. But let's look at the next one. Okay, why don't we know what happens when we die before we die? Isn't it taught in other cultures anywhere as part of spiritual practice? Yes, that's why we invite you to honor your own intelligence. Do your own research. I looked a lot in Western culture for answers to existential questions I had as a child. I couldn't find the answers, but I could find the answers that felt right for my heart in Eastern culture and tradition. But what I found was I didn't just want intellectual knowledge, I wanted experiential knowledge. I wanted to experience the truth that there is a vibration called the kingdom of heaven on earth. And so I asked and said, show me the truth of this. Show me the truth experientially of the greatest wisdom I need to know. Hey, quantum field, revealed to me the greatest wisdom through all cultures that is relevant to me, of my life on earth today. Bring it to me in books, bring it to me in videos, but most of all, bring it to me experientially so that I can know without a doubt what is the perfect truth for me. Because we have Western culture, we have Eastern culture, and this world has had so many wise ones vibrating, walking their talk, vibrating in the deepest wisdom through many timelines already on earth, in the past and in the future and way beyond this world as well. Formlessness, the infinite wisdom that formlessness is, the infinite love that formlessness holds, the pure benevolence, the everythingness that this formlessness of the unified field holds. Remember, it's around us and it's vibrating in us through the 99.999% space of every atom within us all. It's all there for us. They always say when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. So what are you really ready to know experientially? Not just mental reality wisdom. It's not enough anymore, but experientially. Let's go on.